Good day everyone. For today's video, I am going to discuss about addition and subtraction of radicals. But before we start discussing how to add or subtract radicals, let us define first what are similar radicals and dissimilar radicals. Similar radicals are radicals of the same order and the same radicand. Similar radicals can be combined into a single radical by the use of distributive property. Examples. Example 1, as you can see, the common radical is cube root of 3. So cube root of 3, 8 cube root of 3, and negative 5 cube root of 3 are examples of similar radicals because they have a common radical which is cube root of 3. In example 2, ganun din po. As you can see, ang sabi kasi dyan, same order. So, lahat po sila, ang order nila or index nila ay 2 since all of them are square root. And then, same radicand. Parehas po ang terms na nasa loob ng radical sign natin, which is 2x. So, square root of 2x and negative 5 square root of 2x, 4y square root of 2x, and negative 7z square root of 2x are similar radicals. Same through with our example 3. Same index or indices or order. Lahat po sila, ang index po nila ay 4, 4, 4, 4. Fourth root po lahat yan. And then same radicand. Parehas lang po ang radicand which is 5b, 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 and 5b. So example number 3, negative 1 fourth root of 5b or negative fourth root of 5b, and fourth root of 5b, 4 fourth root of 5b, and negative 2 fourth root of 5b are examples of similar radicals. For dissimilar radicals are radicals of different indices and different radicands. As you can see in our example 1, we have cube root of 3, 8 square root of 7, and negative 5 fourth root of 3c. Different indices, ang index po nito ay 3, ang index nito ay 2, ang index po nito ay 4. Magkakaiba po. Different radicands, ang radicand po nito ay 3, ang radicand po nito ay 7, and ang radicand po nito ay 3c. So, itong tatlong radicals na to, they are dissimilar radicals. Same through with example 2. Ito naman, pare-parehas ng indices, square root, square root, square root. Ang index po nito ay 2, index nito ay 2, index nito ay 2. Pero, magkakaiba sila ng radicands. This is 2x. Ito naman, 2 ang radicand. Ito naman, ang radicand niya ay x. So, different radicands pa rin yan. Therefore, they are example of dissimilar radicals. So, we have square root of 2x, negative 5 square root of 2 is different from 4y square root of x. In example 3, dito naman, magkakaiba ang index kahit na pareho ang radicand. So, dito, ang index nito ay 4, ang index nito ay 2, ang index nito ay 3. So, fourth root ito square root, ito cube root. Kahit na pare-pareho ang radicand, pero magkaiba pa rin ang indices, ibig sabihin, dissimilar radicals pa rin yan. So, ito, negative fourth root of 5b is different from square root of 5b, and they are both different also from 4 cube root of 5b. So, example pa rin po to ng dissimilar radicals. Addition of similar radicals. In adding similar radicals, we are going to apply the addition property of radicals, which states p n root of a plus q n root of a is equal to quantity p plus q, which are the coefficients. When we say coefficients, yung number po sa labas ng radical. And then, we just copy the common radical n root of a. So, for example, we have here example 1, cube root of 3 plus 8 cube root of 3. So, ito po, they are similar radicals since pareho ang index nila. This is cube root, and then common radicand, which is 3. So, kapag ganito, applying the addition property of radicals, we just add the coefficients. So, ang coefficient po nito ay 1. Kapag wala po kayong nakikita dyan na number sa labas, automatic po 1 yan. Kaya may 1 tayo dito. And then, 8. So, 1 plus 8, you just add 1 plus 8, which is equal to 9. And then, copy the common radical, which is cube root of 3. So, the sum of cube root of 3 plus 8 cube root of 3 is 9 cube root of 3. For example 2, we have here 5 square root of 2x plus 4 square root of 2x plus 7 square root of 2x. Again, they are similar radicals since ang common radical natin dito ay square root, okay, square root of 2x. Lahat po yan, ang index po niya ay 2. And then, same radicand which is 2x. So, ang gagawin lang, i-add lang po ang mga coefficients. So, 5 plus 4 plus 7. Ito po siya, kaya meron tayong ganyan. So, 5 plus 4 is 9, plus 7 is 16. And then, copy the common radical, which is square root of 2x. So, the sum of 5 square root of 2x plus 4 square root of 2x plus 7 square root of 2x is 16 square root of 2x. Paano naman kapag tayo ay nag-a-add ng dissimilar radicals? When we say dissimilar radicals, magkaiba ang indices and radicals. Example, square root of 8 plus square root of 12 plus square root of 50 plus square root of 48. So, as you can see, dissimilar radicals sila, it's because magkakaiba yung radicand. Ang radicand nito ay 8, ang radicand nito ay 12, ang radicand nito ay 50, and ang radicand nito ay 48. Yun nga lang, para magamit natin si addition property of radicals, kung makikita nyo dyan, kailangan meron silang common radical. So, ang gagawin natin dito, para ma-add natin si square root of 8 plus square root of 12 plus square root of 50 plus square root of 48, we have to simplify the given radicals, or we have to simplify the addeds first. Simplify po muna natin yan. Paano po natin gagawin yon? Square root of 8. So, si 8 po, it's not a perfect square. Same with 12, 50, and 48. They are not perfect squares. Pero, all of them, meron silang factors na perfect square. So, yun ang kukunin natin. Like dito, square root of 8, si 8, ang isang factor niya na perfect square ay 4. That's why we have 4 square root of 2. Kay 12 naman, 4 times 3. And then, kay 50, we have 25 times 2. And then, kay 48 naman, we have 16 times 3. So, makikita ninyo sa factors ng bawat radicand ay may mga perfect square. So, dito, since 4 is a perfect square, pwede na natin kuhanan ng square root yan. Kaya meron tayong 2 dito. Okay. And then, si 2, dahil hindi na siya perfect square or walang square root of 2, may iwan siya sa loob ng radical. Kaya dito, kung mapapansin niyo, si square root of 4 times 2 is 2 square root of 2. Meaning po, si square root of 8 ay pareho lang kay so square root of 8 ay pareho lang kay 2 square root of 2. And then dito, square root ng 4 ay 2, naiwan po sa loob si 3. And then, square root ng 25 ay 5, naiwan sa loob ng radical si 2. Then, square root ng 16 ay 4, naiwan si 3 sa loob ng radical sign. So, ito na po siya. So, square root of 12 is the same as 2 square root of 3. Square root of 50 is equal to 5 square root of 2. And square root of 48 is equal to 4 square root of 3. Now, titingnan nyo dyan kung alin yung mga common radicals. So, dito, si 2 square root of 2 is similar with 5 square root of 2. Kaya yun ang pinagsama ko. And then, 2 square root of 3 is similar with 4 square root of 3. So, 2 square root of 3 plus 4 square root of 3, ito yung ating similar radicals na. And then, since si 2 square root of 2 plus 5 square root of 2 are similar radicals na, pwede na nating i-add ang kanilang coefficients. Kaya kung mapapansin nyo dito, meron akong 2 plus 5, and then I just copy the common radical square root of 2. Then, ito namang dalawang to, since parehas sila na ang common radical nila is square root of 3, pwede na nating i-add ang coefficients. Kaya meron ako ditong 2 plus 4, and then the common radical square root of 3. And then, simplify 2 plus 5, that is 7. Copy the common radical, square root of 2. So we have 7 square root of 2. And then here, 2 plus 4 is 6. Copy the common radical, square root of 3. So ito na po yung ating final answer. Hindi po natin pwede i-add yan kasi po, dissimilar radical sila. Ito ay square root of 2, ito ay square root of 3. So, ito na po yung ating final answer. Therefore, square root of 8 plus square root of 12 plus square root of 50 plus square root of 48 is equal to 7 square root of 2 plus 6 square root of 3. Another example of adding dissimilar radicals is our example 4. So 4 square root of 12x raised to 5 plus 2x square root of 27x cubed. So again, para magamit natin ang addition property of radicals, kailangan itong addends natin ay magawa nating magkaroon sila ng common radical. So para magawa natin yon, we have to simplify itong square root of 12x raised to 5 at saka si square root of 27x cubed. Okay, so next, syempre, you just copy the coefficient. Kaya may 4 tayo dito. And then, factor out 12x raised to 5. So, ang factors ni 12x raised to 5 is 4x raised to 4 or 4x raised to 4 times 3x raised to 1. Okay, bakit kaya naging ganito yung factors? Una, since square root yan, or the index is 2, kailangan mag-iisip tayo ng factors ni 12 muna, na kung saan ang isa ay perfect square. Kaya meron tayo dito 4, tapos ito 3. And then, pagdating naman kay x raised to 5, since again, the index is 2, ilang 2 po ba ang meron sa 5? Meron tayong dalawang 2, because 2 times 2 is equal to 4. Pasok siya dito sa 5. Kaya dito, ang exponent ni x ay 4. Ngayon, yung tira, lalagay mo siya dito. So, again, factors ni 12, 4 and 3. Factors ni x raised to 5 na kung saan ang isang factor ay pwede nating kuhanan ng square root. We have x raised to 4 and x raised to 1. Pagdating naman dito sa ating pangalawang radical, so again, copy this, 2x, yung coefficient natin. And then factor out 27x cubed. So 27 is not a perfect square, but it has a factor which is a perfect square, and that is 9. So 9 times 3 is equal to 27. Okay po, 9 is a perfect square. And then pagdating kay x cubed, since the index is 2, ilang 2 meron sa 3? Meron tayong isa, kaya meron tayong x squared dyan. And then syempre yung butal or yung naiwan is isang x. So, ang magkasama, yung mga pwede nating kuhanan ng square root, kaya ang magkasama dito ay si 9x squared, and then ito si 3x raised to 1. Then, simplify again the radical. So, ito, kukuhanan natin ng square root. Ang perfect square dito ay 4x raised to 4. Pag kinuhanan natin ng square root yan, square root ng 4 ay 2. Then, square root ng x raised to 4 ay x squared. Ngayon, si 3x raised to 1, maiiwan siya sa ating radical sign. Okay lang po kahit na hindi na po ilagay ang 1 dyan as exponent. Parehas lang po yan. And then dito naman, okay, copy the coefficients 2x. And then, kunin ang square root ni 9x squared. Square root of 9 is 3. Square root of x squared is x. Then again, naiwan po si 3x raised to 1 sa loob ng radical. So, kung titignan po natin dito, meron na po tayong common radical. Ang common radical natin is square root of 3x. And then, simplify the coefficients. So, 4 times 2x squared, that is 8x squared. And then, copy the common radical, which is the square root of 3x. Plus, 2x times 3x is 6x squared. And then, the common radical, square root of 3x. Since they are already similar radicals, pagdating dito, similar radicals na po sila because they have a common radical which is the square root of 3x. Then, pwede na natin gamitin si addition property of radicals. So, we just add the coefficients. That's why, meron tayo ditong 8x squared plus 6x squared. And then, just copy the common radical square root of 3x. Then simplify 8x squared plus 6x squared, that is 14x squared. And then copy the common radical, which is square root of 3x. So the sum of 4 square root of 12x raised to 5 and 2x square root of 27x cubed is equal to 14x squared square root of 3x. Subtraction of similar radicals. In subtracting similar radicals, we apply subtraction property of radicals. So as you can see dito, p n root of a minus q n root of a is equal to, we just simply subtract the coefficients, p and q. So meron tayong p minus q, and then copy the common radical, which is n root of a. For example 1, we have cube root of 3 minus 8 cube root of 3. So, ang common radical nila ay cube root of 3. And then, subtract the coefficients. Since dito walang nakalagay or wala kayong nakikita, automatic, that is 1. And then, ito 8. So, 1 minus 8 is negative 7. Since 1 is less than 8. So, 1 minus 8 is equal to negative 7. And then, copy the common radical, which is cube root of 3. So, cube root of 3 minus 8 cube root of 3 is equal to negative 7 cube root of 3. For example 2, we have 25 square root of 2x minus 4 square root of 2x minus 7 square root of 2x. So, copy the common radical, which is square root of 2x, and then subtract the coefficients. So, here, we have 25 minus 4 minus 7. So, 25 minus 4 is 21, minus 7 is 14. Kaya ang ating sagot dito sa example 2 is 14 square root of 2x. In subtracting dissimilar radicals naman, tulad lang din dun sa addition of dissimilar radicals, pwede lang tayong mag-subtract kapag nagawa natin yan na merong common radical or kung magagawa natin ito na similar radical sila. So, like square root of 98 minus square root of 8 minus square root of 32, all of them are not perfect squares. Pero, yung bawat radicand natin, meron silang factors na perfect square. Like sa 98, the factors of 98 is 49 and 2. Kaya meron tayong 49 times 2 dito. Kay square root of 8 naman, or factors ni 8 is 4 times 2, and si 32 naman is 16 times 2. So, as you can see, meron na tayo dito 49, 4, and 16. They are all perfect squares. Ibig sabihin, makukuhanan natin sila ng square root. So, square root ng 49 is 7. Siyempre, si 2 may iwan sa radical sign natin. Then, minus, square root of 2 is 2. Si 2 po ay may iwan din sa radical. And then, minus again. Since subtraction nga tayo, kunin ang square root ng 16, which is 4. And then, si 2 po ay may iwan sa ating radical sign, sa loob ng radical. So, kung mapapansin ninyo, si square root of 98 is equal to 7 square root of 2. So, square root of 8 is the same as 2 square root of 2. And square root of 32 is the same as 4 square root of 2. At kung makikita nyo po, lahat sila ay may common radical, which is square root of 2. So, pwede na nating sabihin na, itong tatlong to, they are similar radicals. Since they are already similar to each other, pwede na nating gamitin si subtraction property of radicals. So, ang gagawin lang natin, we just simply subtract the coefficients. Kaya dito, meron tayong 7 minus 2 minus 4. And then, we copy the common radical, which is square root of 2. So, 7 minus 2 is 5, minus 4 is 1, and then copy the common radicals na square root of 2. So, 1 times square root of 2 is square root of 2. Another example, cube root of negative 16 minus cube root of negative 128. So, dissimilar yan. So, ang gagawin natin, simplify negative 16 and negative 128 na kung saan yung factors nila ay merong isang perfect cube. So, kay negative 16, ang factors niya, negative 8 and 2, kasi si negative 8 is a perfect cube. Pwede po natin kuhanan ng cube root po si negative 8. And pagdating naman kay negative 128, equal yan kay negative 64 times 2. Since negative 64 is a perfect cube. Then, evaluate natin kung ano yung pwedeng makuhanan ng cube root dyan. So, ang cube root ng negative 8 is negative 2. Siyempre, si 2 ay may iwan sa loob ni cube root. Then, copy the operation which is minus. And then, kunin ang cube root ni negative 64. That is negative 4. Then, si 2 po may iwan ulit sa loob ni cube root. Then, kokopyahin lang po natin to si negative 2 cube root of 2 kasi kailangan nating ayusin ito, itong minus negative. Okay po, so naging addition siya. Bakit siya naging addition? Dahil po, according nga po sa rule ng addition of integers, di ba, kapag tayo, subtraction of integers, okay po, sa rule po ng subtraction of integers po, ang ginagawa po natin na una is, yung ating subtrahend, kinukuha po natin yung additive inverse niya. So, since negative po ito, gagawin natin siyang positive. And then, proceed sa addition. So, from negative, magiging positive, and then from minus, magiging addition po siya. Kailan po magiging ganito? Kapag minus negative po. Pag nagsusubtract po kayo ng negative. And then, so, kung mapapansin ninyo, meron na silang common radical. So, similar radicals na po ito. Ang common radical nila ay cube root of 2. Ito, cube root of 2 din. So, kapag ganyan, applying the subtraction property of radicals, actually, addition property of radicals na siya kasi addition na ito eh. Naging addition na. So, copy the common radical cube root of 2 and then ito, yung ating coefficients, negative 2 plus positive 4. So, negative 2 plus 4, unlike sign, so you subtract. So, negative 2 plus 4 is positive 2, and then copy the common radical, which is cube root of 2. So, the difference of cube root of negative 16 and cube root of negative 128 is 2 cube root of 2. For our last example, in subtracting radicals, so we have here 4 square root of 12x raised to 5 minus 2x square root of 27x cubed. So again, we simplify first the radical, yung radicand, yung nasa loob po, na kung saan ang factors niya, yung isang factor niya ay pwede natin kuhanan ng square root. So ang factors po ni 12x raised to 5, na yung isa ay perfect square, since ang index natin ay 2 or square root yan, is 4x raised to 4 and 3x raised to 1. Okay, na-explain ko na to kanina sa addition. Same lang po. Operation lang po ang naiba. And then, so minus 2x. Okay, ang factors naman ni 27x cubed na kung saan ang isang factor niya ay perfect square is 9x squared and 3x raised to 1. Then, copy the coefficient 4, kuhanan ng square root si 4x raised to 4. So, square root ng 4 ay 2. Square root po ni x raised to 4 ay x squared. And then, sa loob ng radical sign natin, may iwan si 3x raised to 1 or 3x. Minus, copy the operation, which is minus. And then, copy the coefficient 2x. Tapos, kuhanan ng square root po yung ating perfect square dito sa loob ng radical, which is 9x squared. Ang square root po ni 9 ay 3. Square root po ni x squared ay x. And then, si 3x raised to 1 ay may iwan sa ating radical. Then, simplify the coefficients. 4 times 2x squared is 8x squared. Copy the radical, which is square root of 3x. Copy the operation, minus 2x times 3x is 6x squared, and then copy the radical, which is square root of 3x. As you can see, similar radicals na sila since they have a common radical, which is the square root of 3x. Pag ganyan, applying the subtraction property of radicals, we simply subtract the coefficients. Kaya meron tayong 8x squared minus 6x squared dito, and then we copy the common radical, which is square root of 3x. So, 8x squared minus 6x squared is 2x squared. Copy the common radical, square root of 3x. So, the difference of 4 square root of 12x raised to 5 and 2x square root of 27x cubed is 2x squared square root of 3x. Thank you for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe.